Why is it that empaths and narcissists are like magnets to each other? Today I want to talk about the dynamic between these relationships and why they can be so toxic but so hard to get out of. So first, let's talk about the difference between empaths and narcissists. Empaths are people who have a highly developed sense of empathy, and they feel like they're responsible for other people's emotions. They're extremely attuned to everybody else's emotions, to their surroundings, to energies, to the energy of the whole room. Empaths are very emotional people, and they just want to make everyone happy. They're very much people pleasers to the point where they want to save everyone and will sacrifice themselves in order to, fulfill everyone else. They put themselves last. Until they've done the work, they struggle with boundaries. But to an empath who hasn't done the boundary work, you can definitely tell what they will have probably no boundaries, if any, or very weak boundaries. They will never walk away from a toxic relationship. They will give and give and give and give and give until there's nothing left in them to give. They neglect themselves and they just care way, way, way too much. They care so deeply about everyone and they just give so much all the time. They don't know when to stop. A narcissist, they care about themselves a lot. Narcissists, first I just want to say that narcissist, it is a personality disorder. Empathy is not. Their mindset is they need to get what they need to survive. They care about themselves and nothing around them. They know how to manipulate those around them to get what they need. They know how to put on a really good show. They know how to fake who they are in the beginning to you, to the world. I know narcissists are really good at being one person behind closed doors and another to the public, and they're very, very convincing. They are really good actors. Until they let that mask drop, they are just really good actors and can really convince people that they are someone that they're not. They like to convince everyone that they're really, really good people, that they're the nice guy, that they're so generous, that they're very giving. They might donate a lot, they might, always volunteer these things, but that is all to cover up who they truly are. Like I said, this is a disorder. This is a mental disorder. This is not just a way of thinking. This is not just, something that can be 100% totally fixed if they meditate a lot and whatever. Yes, it's something you can work on. Yes, it's something that you can acknowledge, but it is something that is there. It is a way that your brain processes and thinks things. It is more common than people think, and it is not as diagnosed as it should be, but it is also not a term that should just be thrown around. Don't just go self-diagnosing people with narcissism. That's not something that we should be doing. So what are the common denominators between empaths and narcissists? Because obviously there's got to be something making them drawn to each other, right? So they both want something from each other. The empath wants that feeling of love and safety and security. They want to feel that affection, and they give and give and give and give in order to feel these things. So they give in order to feel love, safety, connection, all of these things. A narcissist wants to take and take and take and take all of these things that the empath is giving. And the narcissist will string the empath along in order to keep getting these things and will dangle that carrot of inconsistent rewards. They'll once in a while give them a glimpse of the thing that they want. They really want a loving husband, so every once in a while he's going to bring home flowers and take her on a nice date and give her that glimpse of who he could be, but it's never consistent and it never stays. It's just enough kindness to keep stringing you along so that you don't walk away and so that you keep giving your energy to this person. The narcissist doesn't reciprocate the energy that the empath gives. The narcissist knows what they're doing. The narcissist from the beginning is consistently watching how you are acting, what you are doing, your kindness towards them and to others, what things bother you. That's why oversharing with a narcissist is just arming them to hurt you later. If you were to say, oh yeah, my ex always called me controlling, 2 months later you're going to have an argument and they're going to call you controlling just because they know it bothers you. They know that that's a trigger for you. So they're paying attention to every little thing, even if it doesn't seem like it, and they are pocketing it for later when they can use it against you. They also know how to do one thing to make you feel another way. They know that if they do this thing, you're going to feel this thing. And they can do that in positive or negative ways. If they want you to feel happy, loved, and fulfilled so that you don't walk away for that brief period, they know what things make you happy. They know if you like to receive flowers in order to feel happy. They know that if you like to receive compliments to make you feel happy. They know if you want to come home to a clean house to make you feel, and they'll do it once in a while. They know how to get the reaction they want. And they also know how to do it negatively. Like I said, if they know that you don't like being called a certain thing, they know that if they call you that thing, you're going to react, and then they can call you crazy for responding, for reacting to their verbal abuse. They know that if they do this, you're going to do this. They are very calculated. They know what they're doing. They are very manipulative. Both parties in this relationship are manipulative. Obviously, the narcissist is far more manipulative. The narcissist is often intentionally manipulative, not always intentionally, but often intentionally, versus the empath is not intentionally manipulative, but when you are doing something in order to receive something, that is manipulation. And when you are doing all of these nice things in order to receive the love, affection, and all of these other security feelings that you're trying to receive from another person, that is manipulation. Often in the beginning of these relationships, the empath is going to miss the red flags of the narcissist, because these red flags are going to be very minor. You're not going to notice them at first. The empath is going to see the narcissist through rose-colored glasses. They're not going to see them as anything bad. They're going to just see the things that they love about them. Any red flags that are there are going to be minor in the first few fights that you have usually, and the empath is going to ignore them or not see them, not pick up on them at all, because they just want to see the good in everybody. Empaths see the best in everybody, and as beautiful and sweet as that is, in this situation, it's not good. It's not a good thing. Empaths tend to think that everyone in a relationship is supposed to give all that they have. And while to an extent, yes, you are supposed to give in a relationship, you are supposed to give to show love and give to show that you appreciate the person. It's not supposed to be until you're empty. It's not supposed to be unreciprocated. That is a very, very unhealthy, toxic dynamic. Where empaths and narcissists connect is kind of where these things start as kids. A lot of the times, empaths and narcissists aren't born this way. A lot of the times it's through something that happened when they were a kid. A lot of the times it's certain trauma. This could be a lot of different things. Everybody's got a different situation. For an example, we can just use having an abusive household as, let's say, we'll use the same trauma for both ends. So let's say that you have an abusive household as a kid. You have really toxic parents. Maybe they have a drinking problem. There's a lot of yelling, a lot of fighting, money struggles. Let's just say it's really, really chaotic, stressful environment. The empath is going to have a heightened sense of awareness. They're going to maybe learn how to listen for their parents' footsteps and listen to pick up on cues of when they've been drinking and listen for different things like that. They're going to try to make their parents happy. They're going to feel responsible for their parents' emotions. Okay, mom's feeling angry right now. I need to work on calming her down. Dad's feeling angry right now. I need to work on calming him down. Mom is sad. I need to work on cheering her up. The empath is going to take on that responsibility. The empath views everyone else is important. Everything else is important. Creating safety around them so that they can feel safe. The narcissist, on the other hand, has the view of, I'm important, I've got my back, screw everybody else, becomes numb to their surroundings, and just focuses on themselves, cares about themselves, and doesn't care about anybody else, and learns from a young age that nobody else matters. I'm going to do what I have to do to get what I need, and that's all that it is. So then taking these things into adulthood, the empath, when it comes to a relationship, is going to give in order to feel safe, loved, secured, valued, connection, etc. And the narcissist is going to take and take and take because they're just trying to get their needs met. They want to feel fulfilled, so they're just going to take because somebody's giving it to them. Sure, yeah, let me take it. Let me take your energy. I'm going to do what I can to keep you around because you're going to keep giving me your energy. So this is where those dynamics come from. And often it will not stop, and it will not stop, and it will not stop. And when you get stuck in these relationships, a lot of the times the empaths are blind to it and don't even realize what's going on for years and years and years. And sometimes they don't even notice it until they have children with these people, because when they have children with these people, then somebody becomes more important to them than that person, than that partner, their children. And when they see the way that it's affecting their children, who matter far more to them than anybody else, then they start to open up their eyes to the behavior. Then they start to open up their eyes to, okay, this isn't right, this is toxic, this is not okay, this is not how, you're supposed to be. And when something starts affecting someone that you love so much, if you're a parent, the love that you have for your children, when you start to see that, that's kind of what it becomes the game changer. And unfortunately, it's not in every situation. Unfortunately, sometimes you do recognize the narcissism, but you don't leave. Every situation's hard, every situation's different, but a lot of the times that is when people start to recognize the narcissism, is when they have children. So if you did grow up in a home where you were responsible for regulating someone else's emotions, so like if you were responsible for calming down dad when he was drunk and angry, if you were responsible for helping your mom when she was upset, I don't know, whatever, if you were responsible for helping regulate someone else's emotions as a kid, so especially between the ages of 5 to 7, that's when you develop your sense of how the world works, you develop your sense of what's normal, what's familiar, you just kind of get your view of the world. So when you are in this kind of age frame and you're responsible for your parents' emotions, you're going to grow up and think that it's a familiar, normal thing to be responsible for everyone else's emotions. And when you're an empath feeling deeply other people's emotions, you're going to feel responsible to fix it. You have to fix everybody's emotions. You have to fix everybody's problems. It's not your responsibility, but you're going to feel responsible for it. And narcissists are going to use that and feed off of that to manipulate you into getting their needs met and getting what they want with zero reciprocation of that. They're going to use it completely to their advantage. You're going to repeat these cycles over and over and over again until you heal these wounds. So until you recognize why you're attracting these people, why are you attracting narcissists into your life, why are you giving without receiving, once you get to the core of these wounds and work on healing them, you're going to keep cycling the same people. That's why people are like, why do I always date the same type of person? Why am I doing this? The crazy thing is you could be in a huge group of people and you're going to end up connecting and vibing with and probably dating, like you'll start a relationship with somebody in that room who resembles your toxic parent. And this is an actual thing. There have been studies done on this. You attract this person in every situation. You always do. You're not wrong. You do keep attracting the same type of people. And it's because you keep cycling through because you haven't healed that wound. Your subconscious is attracting the same people with the same problems from childhood to try to fix them, because your life would have been better if your parent would have been this way. So you find somebody who had the same problems and you try to fix them so that you can fulfill that need that you had in childhood that you never got. Like if you had an abusive drunk father, you're going to end up dating an abusive drunk man. And you're subconsciously attracting this so that you can attempt to fix them, which, by the way, you will never fix them. Ever, 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 ever. You will never fix them, so please don't do that. But you're going to subconsciously attract these people with the intentions of fixing their problems so that you can have that happy ever after that you never got as a kid, because your drunk dad never treated you right. You never got that. And your childhood would have been so much better had he, not been that way. So this is why we attract the same people over and over and over again. And that's kind of like the core reason why we are magnets to narcissist people and to toxic people, is it stems from, our toxic parents in childhood. So that's the main reason we're attracted to them. And then we end up being stuck in these relationships and we can't get out. Once you heal those wounds, you will stop attracting these same people. Once you heal whatever that is that's, hurting inside of you, whatever it is that's attracting the same people, once you heal that, or at least start to work on healing that, you're going to start attracting different people into your life. And it doesn't have to be romantic partners either. You could be attracting bosses, coworkers, friendships. I mean, it doesn't have to just be romantic relationships. You could have a really, really, really toxic boss that is like so much like your, abusive parent as a kid. And it doesn't have to just be parents as a kid. It could be somebody who is really relevant in your life as a kid. It could be like a grandparent or a step-parent or, a guardian or a teacher you were close to, somebody. It doesn't have to just be a parent, but somebody who caused you enough of an issue to create a wound that carried through to adulthood. Another thing that keeps us stuck in these relationships is something that's called the false consensus effect. So this is something that we all have. Everybody has this. We all think that everyone thinks the way that we think, if that makes sense. So if you think that in a relationship you need to give, and the other person needs to give, then you think that person thinks the same thing. And it's not true, obviously, but like we all have that same mindset, that same thought. We all think that other people think the same way we do, and that's why it can be really frustrating when people don't. We think that people should respond the way that we would respond to different situations, and that's why arguments can be so hard. But that's also why narcissists can manipulate you so easily and make you think you're crazy so easily, because they can be super mad about something and you can be thinking, well, they shouldn't be that mad over that. Like, there's got to be, I must have done something else wrong. Or back to like the thing I used in the beginning about being controlling. Like, if they called you controlling, you could be thinking, well, I must be controlling because, you know, my other partner, my ex, called me controlling, and now they're calling me controlling. I must be controlling, you know? So narcissists can use this to manipulate you, and this is when I don't think that they're doing at a conscious level. I think that this is a very subconscious thing, but it is a form of manipulation that they use as well to control you. I went through a relationship with a narcissist for several years, and I know I felt insane half the time. I felt like there was something wrong with me. I felt like everything that they were saying had to be true. He would say things that I had shared with him that really, really hurt me, that like my parents had said to me at one point or something like that. And he would say them to me in arguments just to like jab at me. And like, he knew that hurt me. And do you think I left? No, of course not. I stayed for a couple more years. It takes a lot for empaths to leave, because they're so loyal and so not willing to leave, not willing to give up. They really think that they can save and fix and change these people, and it will never happen. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, please know that you will never change them. You will never fix them. Narcissism is a genuine disorder, and it is not something that you can just fix. It's not something that you can love them hard enough and they'll change. That was something I struggled with, is like, if I just show them I love them a little harder, if I love them more, if I do more, they'll see it and they'll change and they'll start to love me. It will never happen. You can't fix them. You can't change them. It's going to drain you, and it's inevitably going to end at some point. So just please leave and work on yourself. It's not worth it. It's not worth the heartache. It's not worth the pain. It's not worth the abuse. It's not worth it. I hope you were able to get something out of this today. I hope that I gave you some clarity on some things. I hope that, you know, you learned something. If you did, please let me know down below. Other than that, please subscribe. I am putting out more and more videos every week, so please subscribe so you don't miss them. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye!